purpose of my trip to Africa was to fulfill a lifelong dream of going to Africa to see elephants. And since there are only about 20,000 elephants left, they felt immediate pressure to go see the elephants. On this one, I have a picture of the inspiration photo on the back, and you're welcome to take a look at it. This one, I had to edit the picture in order to do the stitching. This quilt is called the Matriarchs, and that is because, you know, the boy elephants, when they become adolescents, they form bachelor herds and go away. And the female elephants form nurseries and take care of the baby elephants. And so these are two female elephants and dealing with their guarding and protecting the baby elephant. And so throughout the time that we saw these elephants interacting with each other, these two female matriarchs just kept bringing their bodies and moving them in between the elephant, the baby elephant, and protecting the cub. And just that moment, the protection of these massive creatures to their little one was just something I wanted to capture. I had to simplify the background. I couldn't put in all the trees, and I felt like they would essentially detract from the moment and the emotions that I was trying to capture with this quilt. This quilt is the first time that I really think I achieved some degree of success with not only the pieces of fabric that I put together, but how I chose to use dark tulle when I was going for areas that were in shadow, and light tulle in areas where I wanted them to come forward and have that light dimension. This quilt, with the exception of the ears, most of the pieces of fabric in this quilt are about the size of my thumb or smaller. Some of them as small as thumbnails, as I tried to get movement and texture without taking away from the overall shadows created by the protective area for the baby elephant, who I made lighter to come forward. The other thing that I did on this quilt was heavily thread paint. And for this, because of the intensity of the stitching, even the background stitching that was meant to create like a flat base, that stitching is so close together, and I was experiencing with using colored threads in the background, I was having trouble with the professional appearance of that. So I cheated a little bit, and I used a invisible monofilament thread, either clear when I was doing the light pieces or smoke when I was doing the dark pieces. So the tops of my quilts have about 45 different colors of gray, white, black, brown in there, and the backing, the bottom thread is either smoke or clear monofilament. The other thing that I wanted to point out, you can come up and take a look at it, recognizing that despite how big these critters are, their eyes make them so human. They make you feel their personality. And so I really wanted to convey through the eyes. And so there's a little dot of white paint to give that highlight that makes the eyes stand out for you. But I also fussy cut, and you'll notice this is the fabric that I used for the backing. I fussy cut all these little pieces out and put that background, those pieces from that background on to the foreground to create vegetation, but just a hint of the vegetation because I didn't want the vegetation to detract